Good morning, everyone. It's April 7th, 2025, the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
Good morning, Bev,
Good
and
morning,
good
Paul.
morning to all of you out there who want to learn all about BioTouch and all of our great ideas that we have.
Oh boy. Evidently.
Evidently. Today we're going to talk about BioTouch is freedom. That
Hmm.
popped in my head, and you'll be very excited to see what happened when we again
Right.
used our friend AI. so, but first we want to jump to our dream catcher because we have a wonderful, wonderful man, Dennis Griffin. He's no longer with us on this planet, but he was always fun to be with. Loved
Oh, he was.
BioTouch. He and his wife Anna used
Yep.
to come every week for years. He passed away a few years ago, quite a few years ago, actually.
Yep.
There he is with a perfect face that he always had, just always
I know.
smiling. He was always smiling. He was always researching stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he was always supporting BioTouch. It was amazing. And so we put him in the middle of the dream catcher to give him all the juju juice from the dream catcher.
Yep.
If you'd like to be in the dream catcher, send us your name and a picture and where you reside on the planet or off the planet. If you have a loved one you'd like to put in there, just send us a picture and we'd love to recognize them and put them in the middle of the dream catcher.
Yeah.
So, yes, yay for Dennis, huh?
Welcome, Dennis. Yep.
Like you said, you hadn't seen him in a long time.
I know. Boy. Wow.
Okay, folks, so there's a lot of talk about freedom these days.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk about how can a simple touch healing technique like BioTouch be referred to as freedom? So the big question is, what is freedom, right? So you had something that you'd learned a long time ago about that word freedom, right?
Yeah. That word's a little something that we throw around again. Like we were talking, this whole United States was based on some of these tenets, one of them freedom, right? But kind of, in my studies and everything, I they don't use the word actually freedom, although we kind of have a concept of that. But what because it's only because at this point I think freedom is really being used on a individual basis much of the time. So what is the consensus is that we are all free when we are all free. Freedom comes when each of us together are free, not just a couple, not just one, but and then it's called liberation.
Interesting,
So,
right?
there's a fine line there. So freedom is the call is coming out. That's true at this time, and it's wonderful. It's kind of like love. We really don't know what love is, but we're starting to speak it. So better that than the alternative, right?
Right. And how do we free ourselves from the body and its sickness and its judgments? And we've talked a lot about that with BioTouch. That
Yeah.
BioTouch it's not, freedom is not fighting against my judgments.
Right.
Freedom is
Freedom
not
is not
fighting
freedom.
against my body.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about love.
Right.
And not judging. It's about seeing that I'm judging or seeing that I'm judging
Being
another.
aware.
Yeah, being
That
aware.
word we use, being aware, right?
I mean, I always love the example of Deborah Schildhouse. She talks about it in the book too, how she hated feet. Hated feet. I
I
mean, talk
know.
about a judgment. Talk about being, not free from feet.
Right.
and
Imprisoned by feet.
right. And the first person almost that she had to work with at the center after she became certified was someone that had feet problems.
What do you say about that? I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, whatever we need to work on, right? It's
right.
BioTouch has a way of bringing it into our,
Helping free us from our judgments.
yes, yes,
Another one was a woman that was very sickly looking, and she was all worried that her husband, wasn't going to love her because if she didn't look perfect. And
Mm.
she
Wow.
freed herself from those judgments by talking to him about it. And he went, oh my, I
Where'd you come
I
up
would
with that?
never come up with that. So we have these judgments,
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
our body and our sicknesses,
we do.
and we identify with those sicknesses. And BioTouch frees us
Yeah. No, it's true.
from having to what's the worry about it, judge it. Oh, I'm a bad person. I have this disease, or you know, it helps us love ourselves
No,
and
more.
allow ourselves to get the information that we need, like you said, to liberate ourselves.
Yeah. From that, really the prison house, the the thoughts and the, as you say, the all the judgments and everything. So it makes me think about what we've talked about many times, and the first time really for me talking about is in terms of freedom. But when you think about the relationship, because what did I say before? There's only freedom when we're all free. Freedom is not going to, so you get two people practicing biotouch together. There is a sense of freedom for both of them.
Right.
And this is the beginning of experiencing a lot of that release, um, from whatever each one of them is dealing with.
Right. And we've said that before, as the recipient gets better, we get better. We get, it's a cycle that keeps going up and up and up and up.
Well, if we believe we're connected, then that's the
Right.
only way it's going to work. If we all, there's a lot of talk about out there right now too. We're all one, we're all connected, we're one. If that's really true, then when the recipient gets better, something is going to happen with the practitioner as well. You
Right.
can't help it. Yeah.
And as they don't feel good, then we have to own that also. And there's also the freedom of the simplicity of the presentation. And I always love your story. So why don't you share your story of how you even got involved with BioTouch?
Yeah. Well, when I first moved here years and years ago, I studied a intuitive healing modality from a teacher here in Tucson, and it cost money, and it took months and months, and it was very, very involved, and it was wonderful. But it was, boy, by the time I got through with it, I thought, gosh, am I even going to use this? It's so takes so much time and so much effort. And, I just felt like, oh, well, I don't know. So, of course, my thought was, boy, I wish there was something out there that was a lot simpler that I could afford. And then I don't have to wait years. I could immediately start using it. But, good luck with that. Well, in those days, what Channel 6 had Access TV, right?
Yep.
I was running through the things looking for SpongeBob SquarePants for my grandkid, and I saw BioTouch um touching that doing the headset, and I'm like, what in the world? Anyway, long story short, blipped on the website. I went to the website. I started reading about BioTouch. I'm like, no way. I signed up for the next practitioner training and went. And by the end of that weekend, I said, I've got to get certified in this. This is what I've been looking for. Well, the rest is history, right? But when I started practicing BioTouch and learning it, I thought, there's there's no tricks and gadgets and all this stuff that comes from most techniques. All the preparation work, and I'll get your mind in this place and have your heart in this place and prepare that space, and on and on and on. And for me, I really felt a sense of liberation that I was going to be able to just step in and honestly help someone in the moment without any gadgets or any of that stuff. That was a sense of freedom for me.
Wow.
Practice biotouch.
Wow.
And it's the same,
Yeah.
same. It's the same. Yeah.
And that's one of the things, how simple it is. I'm always reminded too. We think of freedom, liberation. We think of the revolution to get there, right? And how that CIA agent, right back in the beginning, 1988, 89, we had a CIA agent in our class, ex-CIA agent, who said he'd never seen such a strong revolution as what was happening there in Mancos, Colorado, with BioTouch. He said, because this revolution is based on love.
Well, and I will say this is why BioTouch is so incredibly important right now, because humanity's whole consciousness is in a revolution, and the end point is to love each other more, that and care about each other. This is the whole concept about BioTouch, right? So the clarion call for this new dispensation, this new paradigm that humanity is moving towards, is a very old one, but it is the call of this new age. It is equality, fraternity, liberty.
Yeah.
That is what is going on. Yeah.
So, we've been talking about this. Well, I've been talking about for 3.5 decades. Bev's and I have been talking on this show for over 8 years. So we got a lot of information out there on our website, on our posts, on our social media, on our different interviews we've done on different podcasts, on and on, trying to accumulate as much information on the web as possible. And we talked about this, how to use AI, to help us get BioTouch out there. Yeah. So I asked BioTouch, I asked AI, to give us a poem about BioTouch in relation to freedom. And we're going to show it to you as we read it, and we're going to post it everywhere, because we'll tell you, we have not, we were both blown away by how they took all this information that's out there and put it in this lovely, lovely poem. So we'll start with it here. It came up with the title, The Freedom in a Touch. No walls between the hand and heart, no chains of rank or learned art. Just fingers poised in gentle grace, a sacred pause, a healing space.
No scripts to read, no codes to bind. Just trust in what two souls can find. In silent touch the stories fade, and something soft yet strong is made.
A whisper through the skin, a flame, that none need wealth nor title name. The power lies in open palms, in shared stillness, healing calms.
It's freedom from the fear of pain, the kind that speaks through blood and brain, a birthright held in flesh and bone, that none need suffer all alone.
So BioTouch, with simple grace, becomes a truth we all can face, that love, not locked behind a gate, can flow from hand and liberate.
Dear Lord. That. What? I mean.
We're speechless.
I mean, I know the concept of AI. It feeds what it's been given, right?
Right.
But the fact that it came up with this poem with using the concepts of BioTouch and the words that we've been speaking for, as you say, 30-something years, and putting them into this, oh my gosh, I'm still just blown away by this poem.
Yeah. No walls between the hand and heart. It's like all the barriers. So you talk about freedom. All the barriers have been taken down when you do BioTouch.
That's just the relationship of BioTouch. No walls.
Yeah, no walls. No, as it says, no chains of rank. No learned art, just like you said, for you to get involved. You didn't have to learn a bunch of stuff. Just fingers poised in gentle grace. It just, you just reach out. I mean, just that line, a sacred pause, a healing space. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. So I know that all of our certified practitioners and practitioners out there are just going to be probably as speechless as we are right now. Right. I can think of a couple that are like, what?
You're sending an email out to all the certified practitioners. Include this in there.
Yes. Yes,
I think we can really build on this because out of all these decades of information that we've been trying to get out there, and that's what poems are about. It's like powerful in few words.
yes,
You know,
absolutely right. That I think that's one of the things that just blew me away by AI coming up with this poem.
right. I mean, it goes on the second paragraph. No scripts, no codes to bind, just trust in what two souls can find,
Find
which we just talked about, right? You know,
in the moment,
the
freedom.
liberation,
Yeah,
that as one's liberated, the other's liberated. That's true freedom,
that's true freedom.
you know.
Yes.
In silence, the story fades, and something soft yet strong is made. A whisper through the skin, a flame that none need wealth nor title name. You know,
Sorry.
you can do it, folks. There aren't no levels here.
No
Everybody's effective at it,
levels.
I mean,
Everybody.
how many times do we have to tell you, just go online, learn these few points, do them. You're going to be effective immediately. You're free, folks. You're free to practice BioTouch. And yeah, you might want to buy the manual and stuff, but there's enough free stuff on our website that you can do it without a charge, and you're going to be as effective as myself, as Bev, as anybody who's been doing this for years.
Absolutely right.
There's a freedom in being able to teach this that way. I mean, it makes me feel happy. Freedom is happiness, folks. And BioTouch is happy. It's a happy place.
It's a happy place. I always think of that woman in Mancus that said that you weren't serious enough.
Right, because everybody was laughing in the center in the waiting room. Healers shouldn't be so joyous and
Healers
happy.
shouldn't
And
be
I'm like,
happy.
that's why we don't call ourselves healers.
Right. Exactly right.
We're just people. And our birthright is to be happy, healthy, and loved. That's our birthright. That's freedom there, folks. Let's reclaim our birthright to be happy, healthy, and loved. And BioTouch is a way that we know can help us reclaim that birthright. It's a known fact. And again, we'll just end with the poem last line here. So BioTouch with simple grace becomes a truth we all can face, that love, not locked behind a gate, can flow from hand and liberate.
Wow. So profound.
So profound. So please join us in learning BioTouch. Join us in sharing BioTouch. It could just be your family, your children, with your grandparents. Get the grandparents to work on the grandkids. Just keep it in your family. If you have a business of doing healing work, it can only enhance your healing work. If you're a massage therapist, we have a great workshop coming up on the 24th with Kai Cox, and she's going to talk about how to use massage how to use BioTouch, how BioTouch can be enhanced for massage.
Right.
We have a lot of massage therapists using BioTouch. Kai Cox is her own massage therapist, and she's going to talk about BioTouch and massage together. It's going to be a great little workshop.
It will.
So, and BioTouch can be used with anything. All the medications you're taking, all the operations you're going through, all the alternative functional medicine practices you're going. It just works with everything. And can only enhance everything that you're doing.
That's a fact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we ain't just blowing smoke up your butt.
Although we have the freedom to do that.
Right. As you said, it's a fact. It really, just try it. Find out for yourself. Don't believe a bald-headed, bearded guy or long-haired, graying woman.
Hey, I'm a natural woman now.
Yeah, right.
All
Natural
gray.
woman. Try it yourself. Talk
about freedom.
Set yourself free. Learn BioTouch. Let us know how we can help you. And join us with a freedom-loving song by Horace Barnes. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind, and the pain is too much. What we need is bio-touch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.